McDade, an editor, assistant editor, occasionally an actor working in the TV and film industry in Los Angeles. And this is my sister.
I'm Liz McDade, a huge Columbo fan and a small business owner living in Santa Cruz, California. And this is Trenchcoat Cigar Peugeot, Wandering with Columbo. In each episode, we'll bring you a little Hollywood history, glamour, and behind the scenes as we walk you through Columbo, one of America's greatest TV detective series. And Paul, today we are talking about Identity Crisis, Season 5, Episode 3. It aired November 2nd, 1975, almost exactly 50 years ago. I'm not sure when this will come out, but it's a pretty old episode.
Yeah.
Just like all of them.
It's crazy to think about, that stuff, when like Patrick MaGoohan, when he completed The Prisoner, you weren't born, I wasn't born. That kind of stuff is interesting to think about. And it's also fresh, to me, some of it.
You've been doing your research, I assume.
Well, today I thought we would just talk about the CIA, like just do a history instead of the episode.
Oh, okay. Take it a different way.
What do you think?
Oh, let's roll with it, Paul.
The listeners will like, just kidding.
All right. Well, every podcast episode, we like to have a snack and a beverage that's inspired by the show. And today's snack is popcorn. And our drink, we have an option of orange juice or a vodka on the rocks. So, Paul, what do you got over there? You first.
I got some orange juice with pulp.
Ooh.
No vodka.
Fancy.
Although the vodka would be tempting.
Yeah.
We do have some that Austin vodka.
Oh, Tito's?
Tito's, yeah, we have some of that, but
nice.
I had some beer and some greens, gluten-free beer, and some whiskey last night that St. John got me, so that was plenty.
Yeah.
How about you? What do you got?
Night's a night off. Okay, I've got some popcorn, and I don't have any vodka, but I made myself a gin and tonic because it's the same color.
That's cheating. That's cheating, Liz. Well, actually, I have some coffee, too. Some Peruvian coffee.
That is cheating.
No, there's a scene where they drink coffee, remember?
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's coffee. There's also red wine. And there's some other little food moments that we'll get to.
Isn't there some green liquid in a bottle? A green bottle, green liquid?
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Some...
Remember you talked about that in episodes.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm always talking about random stuff.
And you're like, and there's some mystery green liquid that Leslie Nielsen drinks.
Next up is Smoke Signals, where we read letters from listeners. We always love hearing from you, even if we're not always quick to reply. We have a lovely note that, Paul, you are going to take it away.
Yes, and this is in response to a case of immunity. Hi, Liz and Paul. This was a great podcast. Thanks for giving me a reason to watch a Columbo episode that I never fully watched. I agreed with your take that the reason behind the murders was not fully explained. I was also surprised to see Spam or ham/pork in general being served at the party. Thanks for the information on Salminio. I never realized that his history or how young he was when he was killed. I later read of some connection with Bobby Sherman. You mentioned Bart Braverman, the actor at the protest line. I am older than you both, and I remember him mainly from his time on the Vegas series with Robert Ulrich. Braverman was on talk shows during the late 1970s and spoke about his appearance as a young boy on I Love Lucy on the episode when Lucy and Desi were visiting Italy. Well, I have completed my tangential rambling. Again, thanks for a great podcast. Take care, Lisa S.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
So, Paul, do you remember Bart Braverman?
No, I don't. I remember the name, but I don't remember what they look like.
I wonder if it was the guy with the really yummy sandwich who actually chatted with Columbo.
Oh, yeah, that's him. No, I did remember him, yeah, because he reminds me of Alan Arkin's son, Adam Arkin.
Oh, he's an actor?
Yeah, I do remember him. Adam Arkin? Yeah, you'd recognize him.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, he was in Fang Face, Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, Bart Braverman. But yeah, He is 79 years old.
Wow. Very cool. Yes. Well, thank you, Lisa S., for writing us. Thank you, everyone who has sent us messages. If you would like to join our conversation, you can send us a message to trenchcoatcigar@gmail.com. You can also message us on Instagram. And we have a YouTube channel where our podcasts go out on the YouTube airwaves. So you can also leave us a note on there if you like. Okay, moving along. The summary of this episode, we have a CIA agent murdered by a double agent down on the beach under a pier, and it's made to look like a burglary. Columbo is immediately suspicious of the crime scene when he finds the victim with his jacket off and a broken poker chip nearby.
Wait, double agent. Is he a double agent? MaGoohan?
Well, yeah. I mean,
I thought he was just an agent, or a high up, operative.
well, I think he's a double agent for himself. He's. Do I need to tell you the ending, Paul?
Oh. I see what you're saying. Okay. But I mean, typically that means you're working for another country or something.
You're right. You're right. He's working for himself.
In a way, yeah, he believes that he is his own sovereign nation.
Yeah, he totally does. The corruption he's pretty, he's not ashamed to flash it around.
Mm-hmm. Geronimo! Yeah, I love him in this.
He is really good in this one. Let's get into it here. So we opening scene. It's a very serious Leslie Nielsen walking into a wallpapered hotel room with a bellhop who gives him a quick tour. And we learn that this is Mr. Henderson.
Isn't that Elliot, the bellhop? Wasn't that his first role?
We don't want the paparazzi following him, okay?
Sorry, go ahead.
So there are 2 hotel filming locations. I don't know if this interior is either of those hotels or even just a set interior, but it's kind of got some cool wallpaper, some plush red carpet. Mm-hmm. And the doors, the interior room doors are kind of cool. They're like made out of these slats of wood that have been like glued or pressed together. Anyway, Leslie Nielsen is super sweaty. The poor guy is like drenched his shirt. And now we cut to a man on the phone. So Patrick MaGoohan in a green and gold and brown office. Nielsen is back in his room in a fresh shirt, waiting by the phone. He picks up the phone like almost before it rings, and he and MaGoohan talk in some kind of code and plan to meet at an amusement park. Colorado is a river, I believe, is the first part of the code. MaGoohan, who's playing Mr. Brenner, leaves his office to go meet Mr. Henderson. He gets reminded by his secretary, Ruth, that he was supposed to prepare a speech for Mr. DeFonte's talk tomorrow. And he says, oh my goodness, I must have lost a day somewhere. I will come in tonight to do it. All right, so let's move on to the amusement park. So Mr. Henderson has changed his shirt again. I'm not sure how many shirts he packed, but now he's in
it's a good observation.
More casual wear. I love all of the background people and scenery at the amusement park.
Yeah.
It's so colorful and gives off really good 70s vibes. And I believe this was filmed at the Pike at Long Beach, which closed in 1979.
Also, it wasn't Santa Monica Pier.
Not the Santa Monica Pier, I don't believe, because the ground looks like a paved road, kind of paved lot. And I believe the Santa Monica Pier is actual like pier material on the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure this was the Long Beach one.
Oh, yeah.
I've got some fun photos. So my snipping tool is working again, or I figured out how to make it work. So I'll be adding some.
This is Burton Miller, by the way, who did the costumes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, and I did find a photo of the interior of one of the possible location of I found interior photos of both of these possible hotels, the Fairmont and the Biltmore, and neither of them match what we're looking at here. But anyhow, sidetracked. So I'll be posting those fun background photos on our Instagram so you can see some of the scenery. Okay, so the two of them are having a conversation, talking business. Brenner hasn't contacted Mr. Henderson, AJ Henderson, for 3 years. And Henderson is a bit annoyed. He says, where's that money that we were getting? You're supposed to have a bunch of money for me. And Brenner says he'll get it for him, but he needs him to help out with something first. Also, a lady takes their photo, and Nelson Brenner takes the ticket stub from her. It's like, oh, thank you so much, so that he can go get those photos from her later. And we have a little moment where the two of them stop to play a shooting game where you shoot like a little pretend BB gun, whatever the rifles are, I don't know, at little moving ducks. This is a fun little moment where the man who runs the booth watches the two of them and realizes they both just won his giant teddy bear prize, which costs him a lot of money. Henderson says, you can keep mine, buddy, because I'm all heart. I love that actor who's watching them. I thought he did a good job, the background actor.
Yeah, he's good. William Mims is his name. William Mims.
Oh, has he been in anything else?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He had a huge career from.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he did. He was in Murder, She Wrote. He was in Falcon Crest, but he'd been doing stuff since the 60s. But yeah, 1956, he was in I Killed Wild Bill Hickok. From there, it looked like he was just, lots of jobs. Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Sometimes smaller roles. But yeah, he's great with a big smile and that big shirt he's got.
Yeah, he was fun. What did you say his name was again?
William Mims.
All right, so they've got their teddy bear. Nelson tells Henderson that, he's working on this spy mission. They're trying to get some microfiche from a man named Steinmetz. And Nelson is supposed to meet up with Steinmetz, or his representative, at Sinbad's that night. And then before they leave, Nelson gives his teddy bear. He names his teddy bear Archibald, and he gives it away to a little girl who I have to say is way too friendly to these strange, intimidating men.
Times have changed.
She's like, hi. She's just very open to chatting. She's all alone.
Mm-hmm.
But she's okay in the end. No one lays a finger on her, so that's good.
Yeah.
And then Brenner hands Nelson this broken poker chip and says you should leave your gun at home. All right. So are you ready to leave the amusement park, Paul?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Again, the background extras and stuff. It's this. I don't know if that was MaGoohan, since he directed it, if he was big, but this one has so much, so rich. And sometimes it's, as we'll see later, you'll see the background people notice. They're not even hired; they're just in the building.
Yeah.
But I still think it was worth it. I think this has got so much great stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I grabbed a screenshot of that moment, Paul, where the background people are totally watching.
Good.
Now we're on to Sinbad's, and I'm pretty sure. So there was a Sinbad's restaurant, I believe it was on the pier, but it sold Chinese food. I don't believe it was like a bar, belly dancer type place. I did a little Google search on belly dancing restaurants or bars or whatever in LA. There were a few. One was called, in the 70s, one was called The Fez. One was Haji Baba's, and one was The Cascades. One or two of these might still be in operation. I'm not sure. But I couldn't find photos of the interiors. Anyhow, I'm going on and on to say, I don't know if there was any kind of like real location that had belly dancers, or if the writers just like belly dancers, because this is the second time we've had belly dancing.
I could see that was common at this time, a little more popular. But there was a Greek restaurant here in Pasadena on Lake near Del Mar, like south of Lake and Del Mar, but on Lake. St. John and I went, and there was a belly dancer there.
How cool.
Yeah, and I think I can't remember if we were with friends a long time ago or like someone else had hired her, but it was great. It was really nice. It's like good food, good Greek food, and
Very cool. Do you remember what the interior looked like? Was it anything like Sinbad's?
no. It was like this was like a hall, almost like a wooden hall. It's like real tall.
All right, so we're in Sinbad's. There's a belly dancer, and we see our old friend Val Avery, who's been in Columbus. He is the bartender at Sinbad's.
Do you like his vest? Do you think Burt Miller did good with that?
I loved his whole outfit. I have a screen grab of his. He's got this silky, blousey, pillowy sleeves and this like green embroidered vest on top. He looks great. Pretty sure I snagged a photo of him. And so AJ Henderson enters and he orders a vodka on the rocks and eats the free popcorn. Which is the inspiration for today. Then he goes to buy a pack of cigarettes from a vending machine. And he's pretending, we can see, but no one else would notice. He's pretending to put coins into this machine. And then he does a series of like clicking the button to get the cigarettes and then pulling a lever to get his refund. And then he tells the bartender, hey, the machine is broken. I didn't get my cigarettes. I didn't get my money back. So he gets his 60 cents back.
Why does he do that?
Why does he steal 60 cents?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure this was his signal to the dude.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
This is more of that code. So he's got to give a way of letting the Steinmetz representative know that who he is. And then after he does that, he gets his money back. And then there's another man sitting at the bar with a glass of orange juice. It's probably actually a vodka and orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call that? Like a sunrise? No, that's not a sunrise.
A mimosa?
Not a mimosa. I don't know why we can't think of that.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Oh, that's champagne, right?
That's champagne, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I think all of our listeners are probably yelling at us right now. So the other guy's having a drink, orange juice and vodka, and but his drink is completely full, and he follows AJ out of Sinbad's down to under the pier in the dark at night. He's actually watches AJ from the top of the pier. He watches AJ walk down on the beach under the pier, and then he meets under there, and they have their little discussion. And the man, we learn his name later, is Melville. He asks AJ, you got something to show me? AJ shows him the broken chip, and it's a perfect connection with his broken chip. So AJ asks Melville what Steinmetz wants for the microfiche, and the two of them are going to tell Steinmetz it's $350, and Henderson is going to tell other way around. Yeah, no, that's right. So they're going to tell Steinmetz that it's $350, and then Henderson is going to tell Brenner that it's only $300, so that he gets to keep the extra. No, wait, I've flipped it, haven't I? Okay, anyhow, the two of them, I've totally messed that up. But the two of them are going to each skim $25,000 off of this. So they're both going to get a chunk of change and kind of scam Steinmetz and Brenner by adding or reducing the price. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, they both want a piece of the pie.
Yeah. All right. So they've made their deal. They're going to meet again in the daytime. And Melville leaves the beach. And then we hear
Geronimo. Here's that fly, Barney. He's hanging out here with me.
Oh, nice. Paul's got a fly in his office. So Brenner is there under the pier, and he asks AJ how it went, and AJ starts to tell him, and then AJ realizes, like, this is weird. What are you doing here? And that's when Brenner hits him with the crowbar and kills him. And now Columbo is on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love this shot, Paul, this opening shot where it's nighttime and there's a little bit of light, and Columbo's like backlit, and he's walking towards the murder scene with all the smoke billowing behind him. I grabbed a photo of that too. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, Richard C. Gloner is the director of photography. Yeah, this one has a lot of great shots. Even the shot when Leslie Nielsen is walking on the sand and it looks blurry, and then it pans to Melville at the top. So that's in focus, but that's why. But it still looks great, like the blurriness of him walking. It reminded me of the Prisoner has all these shots of at the beach, all these scenes at the beach that reminded me of that. But yeah, the camera work on this one was really good.
Really good. Really pretty. Yeah, I took 56 screenshots.
Whoa.
Because I kept being like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And because I got the tool to work.
Okay, so you don't need any from me then? Is that it?
No, I don't need any from you. You're off the hook, Paul.
Okay, all right.
But you should, of course, send me the ones of all of the 17 books that you read in preparation.
That's right. I read 17 books about the CIA.
So you'll send me your photos and we'll share those also, of course. And I don't necessarily need to put all 56 of these up because it's a lot.
Sure, you can. You can, Liz. Get it going.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. But definitely the one of him walking. I love that shot. And I love how Columbo enters the scene. He's very like confident and in control.
Mm-hmm.
He gets everyone out of the way. He knows people's names. He clears everyone off of the body except for Anderson.
I wonder if that was a note from, I didn't read the David Koenig, but I wonder if that was a note from Patrick MaGoohan to Peter Falk. Why don't you come in here? Because he rarely does that. You know, he rarely commands like that to the rest of the guys. He usually just wanders in. So I wonder if that was something that MaGoohan suggested to him.
Oh. Yeah, that's interesting, Paul. Yeah, because, you know, we just only 4 months ago talked about a case of immunity where he's actually getting bossed around by Mike Lally at the crime scene, right? Like Mike Lally has the camera and Columbo's kind of in his way. So, and versus on this moment, he's like totally in control.
Yeah, but William Driskill, the writer for this one, it could have been in his thing too, you know. He could have just had those lines, you know.
So Columbo's checking him out. He's figuring out which hit came first, and he realizes that he was hit, on the front of the head first. He finds the poker chip. He finds a book of matches for Sinbad.
Now, why would both of those poker chips be on the ground, though? You know.
Well, because I guess they didn't need them after they made that connection. That was another piece of the code.
Did Leslie Nielsen take them both?
No, I think they both just dropped them because they served their purpose and they didn't need them anymore. And they didn't know about the dangers of plastic pollution and microplastics at the time of filming. So they just dropped them. They're on the beach.
Yeah. I just feel like, like if you were an operative, it's not like a cigarette, you know what I mean? Like, even a cigarette, though, like those are all things you don't want to leave. It's like you wouldn't want to have a trace of anything, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I was just surprised that was.
Yeah.
Like, why would they leave that? I mean, unless Leslie Nielsen had it in his hand and he got hit and he fell down. So, but
well, the Melville had both of the pieces in his hand. I actually got a screenshot of that. He's the one who puts them together. I can't remember if he hands the other piece back. So maybe Melville dropped them both because he's not really an operative. He's just like a hired hand.
But even that, he's like street smart. Like he's. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he might be like, I don't want to leave any of these weird clues around because he knows it's all weird, all this clandestine stuff, and he's been in prison, so or he has a record, rather, I should say.
Right. Yeah, we don't know exactly. So Columbo picks up the chips, and he also is curious, like why he's not wearing his coat, because it gets cold on the beach at night. Mm-hmm. So it would be odd for him to be down there not wearing it. Kramer is up in Sinbad's. So we should go join him back to Sinbad's. And Columbo is watching the belly dancer. And I want to point out that we all know Sergeant Kramer. We've seen him before, played by Bruce Kirby. I think Columbo does a good job here of being kind of enthralled or really impressed by the belly dancer without being like creepy or like leering or oogling at all.
Yeah.
But he's very just by her. What did you think of that, Paul?
I mean, I wasn't sure like how that would. I think I'd imagine some people now would see this and be like, "Ooh,"
Mm.
But I know, the Columbo is like he's overall, he cares about people. So, and he's not like that. He's not like a lech. So yeah, I think that is what he's like, kind of like stunned by her, and then the whole thing is like, why is she looking away? It's like in his head,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he calls her remarkable. He's not listening very well to Kramer and the bartender. The bartender is trying to tell Columbo what he's observed that night.
Yeah, it is funny because he's kind of like, well, he's more interested in the dancer than
He is.
he's thrown off. It's not like him.
He goes from like all business down on the beach to like, whoa, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
Like very distracted.
Is that MaGoohan again doing like, it must be this way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really like the way Columbo behaves in this episode. I feel like he's extra playful.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to more of those scenes. And so the bartender says that he saw the man who was just murdered. He also noticed the man who followed him out. He noticed Melville, and he could probably pick Melville out of a book of photos if he's in the photos. So the bartender is going to go down to the station and look through photos. And Columbo's kind of like a little over relaxed about this whole, like, who is this person? How do we find out what happened to him? He tells Kramer, you're doing fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. And he kind of keeps watching the dancer.
Mm-hmm. I was almost thinking that he was thinking that it was burglary at that point.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Or I was thinking that maybe he's suspicious that it's like much more than that, and there's going to be a big reveal later. But I think I was overthinking it. I think it makes more sense. Maybe he comes to it. He's like, oh, it's just a burglary.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let Kramer kind of, take the reins. Okay, so it's the next morning, and Brenner is on the move. He's in his car listening to the news. Have you ever seen this kind of car before? I had to use a reverse image search on Google to figure this one out.
Mm-mm. No, I don't remember it.
It's a Citroën SM, a high-performance luxury coupe from the French automaker Citroën, and it was only manufactured for 5 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's cool looking.
You can get a used one for about $50,000, Paul. It's very unique, this car. This is more of the Brenner's like being overly flashy, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's not like just a BMW or a Mercedes, which are also nice cars, but this is like, it's a fancy French car.
Yeah, he likes nice things, as we will see. You can see in his office, but...
All right, so he heads up to his office, but he passes through the lobby, which is absolutely gorgeous. Did you recognize this lobby, Paul?
Mm-mm. It's another episode?
No, it's not another episode, but it's a famous building in Los Angeles. It's the Cal Edison building in downtown Los Angeles. It's the Art Deco building. Super beautiful.
Oh, I don't think
It has these like giant black and white tiled floors and super tall, really tall ceilings. And the ceilings are all engraved. Like it's like a series of like little honeycomb shapes with like flowers engraved into each honeycomb.
What's the name of the building?
It's really gorgeous. It's the Cal Edison building. I found it doing the reverse Google image search, which I love. And now that I can take screenshots, I can do that a little bit more easily.
Oh, no, I've been in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have?
Yes, we went there just to step inside. Yeah. But I didn't go that far. Like, I didn't go to the elevators. We just went right in the front area.
You've never taken me there.
Next time. Yeah, because it's right by the library. St. John took me there because St. John used to give tours of the buildings.
Oh.
In downtown LA.
How did I not know that?
Yeah. So she had us go in just the front there, real briefly.
It's really gorgeous.
Yeah.
I will put that photo for sure on the Instagram of the lobby. Anyhow, really pretty. It's just a quick moment. It's not a big part of the scene. He walks through it. I love that they did that. There's nothing happening in this lobby. He's just walking through it, but they still did a half day of filming there at Cal Edison just to get this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So Brenner it gets into his office. It's early. He's the only one there. He's the only one in the lobby. He's the only one in his office. And he changes his clock. He's got like a big wooden clock, and he changes the time. He sets it so it's almost 11 o'clock. And then he sits at his desk and he dictates his speech into his tape recorder. I thought his voice was really interesting in this episode, and I noticed it in this scene in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's like using a different voice than he did in the military one, isn't he? Kind of, or am I just?
Yeah. He definitely has this. He's not as like refrained, like pulled back, and he was like kind of pulled back in the other one. And this one, he's just sort of like a juggernaut. Like this stuff comes out of him much quicker, and just like with the Geronimo, like he like his voice goes up and down, and yeah, there's so much good moments for me personally when I'm watching him. The scene with him later in Columbo in his living room, all the shots of him and his reactions, there's always sort of this change. And I watched it again last night, and I was really impressed with that, with him, because it's every response feels truthful, and it's all like sort of different. I don't always expect, because we'll get to that part, but yeah, no, I was thinking that too, that he sounds different. I thought that too.
He sounds different. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. He sounds different, than he did in the military one by Dawn's Early Light.
Mm-hmm.
I also just want to briefly point out he has some really cool objects on his desk, including a giant green glass marble. Anyhow, it was fun to check out all of his little doodads. All right, so he's in there and he's recording that speech, and he leaves it on his secretary's desk, and then he heads back out again. And now we are going to go back to the Biltmore, where AJ Henderson had a room, and we have a nice brief little moment with Mike Lally. He plays the cabbie. Yay! And Sergeant Kramer is in Lally's cab, and he's showing Lally a photo of Henderson that they took of him, dead on the beach. And Lally confirms, like, yeah, I this is where I brought him. I can't remember if he brought him to the Biltmore or if he picked him up from the Biltmore, but he confirms that Henderson was connected to the Biltmore. And I looked at the Biltmore. If it's in the same location in LA, the exterior is a little bit different today, because in this episode of Columbo, it has one of those like overhangs that kind of gives you like a covered walkway, so you're protected from the rain. And today's Biltmore, the exterior shots I saw online, it doesn't look like that anymore, but it's still down there in LA in Santa Monica. Okay. Oh, wait. So actually, this little moment with the cabbie is interspersed in between when Brenner is taping, and then after the cabbie moment with Mike Lally, then we actually see Brenner listening back to his speech and then leaving it on his secretary's desk. He's like doing a quick review of the chimes to make sure that the sound of his clock is showing up on the tape. And he's also smiling at his own jokes, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to go to another office. There's a few different offices in this episode of Columbo. Now we're at the office of AJ Henderson's employer, and we know that Leslie Nielsen wasn't actually AJ Henderson. He had taken on that name as part of his cover, as a CIA agent. But Columbo and Kramer don't know that yet, so they're going to tell AJ Henderson, the real AJ Henderson's employer, that he is dead, and get confirmation that the photo is the real AJ Henderson. And in this other office with this other man, I don't know if we ever get his name. We probably do. Anyhow, they learn that that is not the AJ Henderson. And we see who the real AJ Henderson is. He lives on the East Coast. And Kramer and Columbo are clearly surprised. Like they did not see this coming at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Peter Falk's eyes are just he just stares there for a second. Like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What?
I wondered who that picture really was. Like who that was, like if that's a real person.
Oh. Yeah, you could probably do a reverse Google image search, Paul.
All right, Liz.
Find him.
Yeah, that actor's good. The one who they're talking to. The executive guy.
The boss, the young boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. He also would he's like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
I need an explanation. And and they're like, yeah, so do we. We don't know what's going on. They exit the interior of this office and they head out to the exterior of the building. And this is where we see some of those awesome looky-loo background folks. Is this a scene that you noticed them in too, Paul?
Yeah, the bogies.
The bogies. So Kramer and Columbo. Oh yeah, you go.
Peter Falk really smiles at this moment, but I was trying to think of what Kirby is saying to him. Like I was like, is he smiling because of all the people staring at him?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that would probably make me smile. Yeah, I got a good screenshot. These guys in the background, they're just clearly stopped and staring at Columbo and Kramer as they've exited the building onto the sidewalk. You can see them through the glass. I kind of wonder, did the oh my gosh, Paul, I just realized something.
Did the assistant director what?
Yeah, how did no one notice that?
Who knows? Maybe they told them and MaGoohan and the crew were just like, let's just go, just keep going,
Or maybe they didn't see it till it was too late and they were like reviewing it at night and the location was shut down.
Totally. Yeah. Do you notice the one lady with the hat?
Yes, and the bright yellow pants.
She's like in three different shots, walking in two directions twice in the same way. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like she must have ran around and then walked that way again.
They loved her.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking it was just probably that day shooting outside was probably a little chaotic, and the second unit assistant director Reuben L. Watt and whoever else was out there, it probably was. I know that MaGoohan was tough,
Yeah.
So they were probably scrambling, like trying to contain everything.
Yeah.
But that lady is hilarious. She's like behind them once and going one way, and then behind them again going another way, and then behind them again going the same way.
Oh my goodness!
Place she walked.
What is she doing, stalker?
She had like this blue hat with the yellow pants.
I definitely noticed her twice, but I wasn't paying close enough attention to notice how she was walking.
I'll give you 3 more extra screenshots. So
all right, let's get it all the way to.
Or I'll do them all together. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, also, I'm pretty sure that this was filmed at the corner of Wilshire Boulevard and Ocean in Santa Monica. Mm-hmm. And there's still a building does that seem right to you, Paul?
I didn't look it up, but yeah, you can tell the beach is right over there. Yeah, it's a great shot.
It's really pretty. Yeah, so in Santa Monica and that part of Los Angeles, there's this Ocean Street is lined with tons of palm trees. So on one side is all of like LA, and then as soon as you see all those palm trees, then there's like the little park, and then there's the beach. So it's kind of a very distinctive break. There's still a building on that corner that has like a all glass exterior wall or whatever you call that.
That lady is in 4 shots, by the way.
All right, good for her.
And she appears across the street behind Columbo. I'm serious.
I know she got paid extra for that.
Yeah,
she was working hard.
Maybe it's Peter Falk's assistant or something.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding.
Maybe.
I'm just teasing. I don't know.
Okay, so Kramer is explaining, outside while people, all these looky-loos are watching, and Yellow Pants is stalking them. Kramer is explaining to Columbo how they ended up thinking it was A.J. Henderson, and Columbo wants to know where this man spent the first part of his day, because he checked into the Biltmore at 2 or whatever, and then he was at Sinbad's much later. And Columbo learns that A.J. Henderson asked the Biltmore, how do you get to Pike Long Beach Amusement Park? And Columbo gets so excited by this tip.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to go. You keep doing your thing. I'm going to go there. And so now we have Columbo at the amusement park, which is also super fun to see.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we also see some of his, I feel like he's extra playful side.
Mm-hmm.
He is at the amusement park. He's asking around if anyone has seen this person. He gets a button of himself and he puts it on. Of course, I got a screenshot of that. And I really think that you and I and all of our listeners deserve this button.
Yes.
We should all have this button of Columbo. It's just him. He looks kind of small. He looks kind of tiny in it because of the way the photo is framed. He's like a little part of the photo. He's just got a white background, and he seems so genuinely excited by it. And he puts it on his jacket. So he's wearing this button with a photo of himself walking around the amusement park. He discovers that there's a photographer who tries to capture photos of everyone. And so now he wants to work with her and try to look through her photos to see if he can find A.J. Henderson and the man that he was with. Because I think he has already learned, I think I forgot to write this down, but I think he's already learned that A.J. Henderson was there with another man, because he had already talked to the shooting gallery manager and learned how they both knocked down a ton of ducks. And I don't know did you recognize the photographer, the female?
Well, yeah, both of them. The Photoshop guy, the sort of the boss, I guess. He's been in 3 Columbos.
What?
And he was in a couple of Cassavetes films too. I thought he was great as the boss. Like he totally ignores. He's just all about business. Like Columbo even asks him a question. He doesn't answer the question.
Yeah.
He just wants to take his picture, and like sell him stuff. Barbara Rhodes, the actress, she's great. She's so good. But she's in Harry and Tonto, which I have it on DVD, but I didn't make the time to watch it.
Oh, Paul.
But I know Art Carney got a nomination, or he may have won an Oscar for that. She's great, man. She had a killer career performing. But I loved her in this. There was he was being so playful with her, and him, but it seemed real too. Like they didn't really she's like, okay, what can I do? What do you want? Yeah, okay. And then he kind of schools her, like, see, you never know what you can find, because she's like, doesn't see him.
Yeah, I looked at her IMDb just briefly, but she had a very long, solid career as a working actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I can't believe I didn't notice the photo booth dude. Glad you did.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about him before because we'd seen another episode. Getting back to Barbara Rhodes, I did see a 30-something episode where she played the new wife of one of the main character's dad. And it was a very touching episode. You find out the dad has cancer. And she plays like the girlfriend, I think she marries the dad, yeah. So there's a strain between her and the dad's son, who is one of the main characters of 30-something. And she was excellent. She was really good in all her scenes. When that's older, that came out in the 80s. That show 30-something? Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think I was a little bit young to watch it when it was on, but I definitely remember.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some of it holds up, some of it doesn't. To me, the behavior, of some of the guys in a way, but I really liked it. It was still still really fun to watch. And there's some really good stuff in it, actually.
Nice.
Anyway.
All right. So, like you said, he and the photographer, I don't know if maybe her boss calls her name, but I didn't catch the name. They find photos of Henderson with the other man. And so now Columbo has like a really strong lead. And now we go to, I'm pretty sure we're back at the Biltmore, where DeFonte is giving the speech that we heard Brenner put down on tape. I could be wrong that this is the Biltmore, but the doors look like the Biltmore ballroom doors. And this is what Google has told me, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's a different ballroom. And DeFonte's giving a speech. And I love this moment. Columbo walks in and walks up to Brenner, who's watching DeFonte, played by our old friend Vito Scotti, who's been in a lot of Columbos. Columbo walks up to Brenner and just sort of like looks up at him and just kind of silently stares at him with a little smile.
Looks at the picture, looks at him.
And Brenner, yeah, Brenner tries to send him away. He keeps saying, "You have the wrong room." Mm-hmm. And then finally Columbo's like, actually, no, I'm looking for you. Your secretary said I could find you here. Brenner says, "Take a seat," moves him to another place.
Yeah, he's immediately this alpha dog,
Mm-hmm. And now we have Columbo kind of filling Brenner in on what's happened. So this man has been murdered, and we know that you met with him, and we know that he's not actually A.J. Henderson. That's not his real name. But Brenner doesn't give anything up. It's like, oh, I was just trying to, steal him from his job to join my agency. I had no idea that this wasn't the real Henderson. So he doesn't give anything up, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, no, it's a great. I love this Vito giving the speech to all these businessmen, and his jacket is interesting, like the white. It's like he's like South African colonial era, or it's an interesting outfit. Burton Miller.
I got a screen grab of that. Yeah, it is.
And
cool.
His long cigar. Like the first time I saw this, after having not seen it in a long time, I love this moment with them between the two, and just when I watched the whole thing. But this is where it's like, I feel like MaGoohan really thinks about Columbo, like how would you really react to somebody like this, trying to, and I feel like he really utilizes that, like how would you shut him down? I'm just going to shut down this guy, and so that's why he's so rude and like ignores him, and you're in the wrong place and lying to him and real, curt.
Yes.
And it's not over the top, it's even the pointing to sit down here, he's used to this kind of directing people.
Right.
Especially the police, local police, who cares? He's a big government guy. I'm much smarter than you.
Right. And I'm richer and I'm more powerful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now Brenner drives his Citroen home to his home has been in another Columbo. This is a really amazing estate. It's called the Enchanted Hill. It's in Beverly Hills, and it was also in Double Shock.
It's gone now, right? Yeah, it is gone.
It is gone. Okay.
So it's just like a flat area now with grass.
So sad. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's good to know. Because it was a beautiful building, like really gorgeous. It sold for $65 million a few years ago. So pretty spectacular piece of property up there in Beverly Hills. So Brenner gets home, pulls up into his driveway, and there's a helicopter on his lawn, and it's the director of the CIA. And so now we have a little more clarity about things. Director of the CIA is trying to understand what happened to Geronimo. We never learn this guy's real name. He's always just Geronimo. Unless that's his real name, but that seems like a code name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least I don't.
Well, you don't know in the CIA, and when you're in the CIA, you don't. They used to have, I think, lunches separate from different departments. They've had obviously different directors over the years and different people in different positions depending on who was president and didn't like. But I think they built the lunch area where everybody could sit with each other, but there's no name tags, and you're not supposed to say your name. You're not supposed to tell anybody about what you do either when you're there. And all everything that you get, you burn. You burn like at the end of the day, there's a thing that like a plastic thing, you put it in there and you burn it, and then you put it in another thing, and it's like I don't know if they still do this. At one point they did it. It's a documentary inside the CIA, America's Frontline. So it would make sense that he wouldn't know his real name, and you just have a code name.
So Brenner tells the director. So the director knows about the Steinmetz situation, trying to get the microfiche from Steinmetz. And he knows that Henderson was meeting up with Steinmetz's person. And Brenner tells him, oh, no, it has nothing to do with Steinmetz. This was just a simple mugging. The director says, like, oh, also, by the way, I don't know if you've heard of this person, Columbo, but he's been investigating. And Brenner says, yes, of course.
By the way.
By the way. So the director wants Brenner to put Columbo under surveillance. And so Brenner goes inside and gets on one of his fancy, like, high-tech machines, telephone, I don't know what, to probably get that done. And so now we go to the police station where Val Avery, the bartender, is looking through photos with Kramer and Columbo.
In cool clothes, fancy clothes.
Is he still wearing his bartending clothes?
No. He's got a real nice coat and shirt and stuff.
I must have missed that.
Burton Miller did it right.
Yeah, he did. Even this little dialogue, little couplet or whatever you would call it, was fun between Kramer and the bartender.
Because those get those accents.
Mm-hmm. And he picks out Melville. He's like, oh, that's the guy. I remember, that was him. So now Columbo goes to Melville's home. And this is like one of those rare, humble homes that we see in a Columbo. A van drives by. So Columbo goes to Melville's home, and he's talking to Melville in the driveway. And on the street, a van drives by very slowly. Clearly, the surveillance van.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have time to find this location.
Oh, I wanted to look for that one too. It reminds me of Pasadena, but it reminds me of LA too. It's just such a great looking place. Yeah,
there's just too many possibilities. I just didn't know where to begin, and there were no clues on anything that I could find to get me going.
The shot of Columbo driving away, it doesn't look like Columbo driving the car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you look at it.
Body double?
I think so, but I could be wrong.
I don't think I got a screenshot of that.
Yeah, I'll have to get another image of it.
I did get a great screenshot of Columbo in the next scene back at Brenner's house. Brenner is having a party, and Columbo enters Brenner's property by kind of just like tailing another car that gets the gates opened.
Mm-hmm.
And he is approaching the party by jumping on the grass and trying to peek over the bushes. I got a screenshot of him doing that.
That's so good.
It was so funny. More of his silliness here. And Brenner, of course, notices him. Brenner's a little bit annoyed, just a little bit annoyed. But he's polite to Columbo. Columbo has a snack. I'm guessing it was a cube of cheese on a toothpick, but I really could not tell. So Columbo wants to know where Brenner was the night of the murder. And Brenner says, I respectfully request that you do not harass me.
I love that. He just cuts right to it.
Columbo acts genuinely taken aback. He's like, he says, I would never do that. So I don't know if he's just like acting genuine or if he is genuinely taken aback that this guy already feels harassed.
To me, he's like an agent. The agents, the operatives, they lie, right? They have to believe the lie. They have to perform the lie. They have to talk. So Columbo's so used to doing these things, he believes what he says. You know what I mean? I would never, like, it's genuine, But he also wants to get his thing done. You know what I mean? Like he wants to. So it's sort of like he can be both. He can believe it, but also want to bring him down. Like, wait a minute, right? Because at this point, do you think he knows it's him?
I think he suspects this person for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely, I think he. I think we all do that, right?
Yeah. Columbo and Brenner chat just a little bit more like about the crime, and Columbo shares that he thinks he's being followed. And now we're gonna scooch on over to Melville's house. Melville is partially laying down in bed, drinking a beer. I love this moment, watching TV. He gets a phone call and he answers it, and then it's Steinmetz, and he immediately sits up, straightens up, and becomes alert.
Yeah.
And they plan to meet. And so there's just that brief moment at Melville's, and then we go to the late night meetup with Steinmetz, which is on a roadside somewhere. And Steinmetz pulls up behind Melville and takes Melville's car keys out of his car. And Steinmetz pulls up in a 1955 Ford Country sedan. It looks like kind of like a big Cadillac kind of car, but it's got a few other distinguishing features that make it different. I guess it's more of like a station wagon back. And so the two of them meet up and they talk about this murder that happened. And Melville's clearly upset because Columbo has come by. And I love this line from Melville. He's nervous. He says, I'm talking about, he's like, I didn't know things were going to get this serious. I'm talking about heat from that heavy little dude Columbo.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite lines, that heavy little dude Columbo.
Yeah, Otis Young, he is a fantastic actor. And when I first watched this, for the first time in a long time, I almost felt like he deserved more of a stronger character, because he's kind of weak, he just does whatever the hell Steinmetz says, and he's afraid of, Steinmetz in a way. And he seems like he would be more intelligent, but I guess in a way, if Steinmetz wouldn't choose someone unless he could completely control them,
Right. He needs like a patsy kind of guy.
Yeah. So Otis Young's performance does make sense, but the thing is, I think in real life, he was very commanding. He didn't stay trying to make films and movies too long. He taught classes, I believe, in New York. I think he started to write autobiography. One of his, I don't know if he just has one daughter, but he has one daughter who is a singer and an actor who is performing, if she hasn't already, she was performing she sings or was performing in Brooklyn, but I think she lives in New York City. She used to live in Germany. Anyway, she's very talented, and also thinking about other things than just trying to make it, you know what I mean? Really thinking about the world. And I think Otis Young was that way, I believe. I wish somebody would publish his autobiography.
Yeah, whatever he had written so far, or do you think it's complete and just no one's going to publish it?
I don't know. His daughter on IMDb, I think she said something about that on there. But he was in The Last Detail, which is really one of the top American movies of the 70s, if not just in general, for a decent budget film. It's Jack Nicholson, Otis Young, and Randy Quaid. And there's some other performers, but they're the main characters. And it's Hal Ashby. And Hal Ashby was he did Harold and Maude. He did these amazing 70s movies that influenced a lot of other filmmakers who were doing similarly type stories, such as the director of Sideways and The Leftovers. He's a big fan, but Otis did some really interesting films. A couple of them I was trying to find, but I couldn't find them. I did see one that he did with Burt Young, where he plays a detective, called Blood Beach. It was kind of fun. It was silly. And then another one called The Clones. Yeah, that was okay. It was kind of just actiony. This guy's good. He was so good.
Yeah, he was fun to watch.
Just heavy little dude.
Heavy little dude. It's heavy little dude Columbo. Yeah, we get to see more of Otis Young. So just to wrap up this scene, Steinmetz is like, don't worry about that heavy little dude Columbo. Don't talk to anyone. Take my car and I'll get your car moved. I need you to deliver my car somewhere. So Melville takes Steinmetz's car, the Ford Country sedan, and then as he's driven away, Steinmetz hits a button on a remote control of some type, and we hear an explosion, and we hear a car crashing and a honk. So Steinmetz has clearly sabotaged his car so that Melville will, it'll explode or at least crash. So now we head to the hospital, and Melville is still alive, thankfully, but he's clearly been injured. And he's pretty laid up in a hospital bed with the cops around him. And now he's ready to spill all the beans. And he's really riled up. He's like, let me tell you, this is what happened. And he's trying to describe him. And he's like, no, you're getting it wrong. He needs to be older. And he's very lively and angry. And they're like, well, we found you with this dead guy's credit cards in the car. And Melville's like, I have no idea about that. I'm telling you that there's this guy Steinmetz who's been paying me. You need to find him. So they get a sketch of Steinmetz. And now we're back at Brenner's office, and Columbo is in Brenner's office talking to his secretary, Ruth, trying to verify the alibi that Brenner shared with him during his party. And Ruth says, I can't absolutely verify that Brenner was in that night. I can only tell you that I did have the speech on my desk in that morning. While Columbo is chatting with Ruth, Brenner walks into his office, and he sees Columbo, and he is clearly angry. And he asks Columbo to come into his office. So again, he is kind of bossing Columbo around. Brenner tells Columbo that he knows quite a bit about the investigation so far. And he knows that Melville was found with Henderson's credit cards. So he does not understand why Melville is not being arrested and charged with the murder. And then Columbo explains that the bomb in Steinmetz's car was too weak to actually, seriously injure or kill somebody. And this is the moment where Columbo shares that he does think that Brenner is connected to this murder somehow. Because Brenner is like, why are you back? What's going on? And Columbo's like, actually, I do think that you're involved somehow. And your alibi isn't really that good. And then this is where Brenner tells Columbo, you are delving into areas over which you have no authority. And Columbo is clearly confused. He doesn't really know how to respond or what to make of that. He's not giving up. Columbo is still on the trail.
Yeah, and he just smiles, walking forward with his head turned, smiling at MaGoohan. With this sort of perplexed, frozen smile. It's
right.
It's great because he wants to shut it down. He's like, just get out. Kind of what I feel like more people would do.
Yeah.
yeah, not trying to fool the detective. But yeah, anyway, sorry. I might go on a wandering mind thing there.
Well, that's what we do, Paul. That's what this podcast is, wandering with Columbo. Well, as soon as Columbo leaves Brenner's office, Brenner picks up his like secret phone that's in a drawer and he calls the director. He says, Colorado calling the director. So he's like connecting with his CIA boss. And now we're going to head to Griffith Park to Travel Town.
Yay!
Yeah. Have you ever seen this before, Paul? I don't know how.
I've been there, yeah, a couple times, yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah, the kids even did a when Felix and Vesta they did a Martin Luther King for Martin Luther King Day, like a march there.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but you can get on the trains and you go around and it looks very similar. The parking lot looks very different, but the train setup looks very similar to what you see in the show.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's funny that this is where they do the. So why was Columbo going there?
See, I think this is more of that, just like MaGoohan having a good time and being playful. Like, this is a little bit of a indirect place to go get a hot dog. Like.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why he's just going to get lunch.
He's just going to get lunch. He's just going to get a hot dog, which he could get probably like 100 places in LA.
Well, the guy knows him too, so that's another thing because he knows all these out of the way places that he likes stuff. So that's very Columbo-ish.
Yeah, Arthur knows him.
He looks familiar.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I didn't go back, but I was kind of wondering if we'd seen him serving Columbo chili or another hot dog in another episode.
His name is Ben Frommer, the actor. Yeah, he reminds me of the Dorito actor, this guy who's a Dorito.
The Dorito actor?
Yeah, he was in commercials, I think. Okay. I think it was Doritos.
Okay.
You're like...
I don't remember. I love that you remember.
Moving on. He was in, like, he'll have background stuff like Man in Train Station Phone Booth, Exorcist 2, The Heretic.
Exorcist 2.
But then, or Car Wash, Man Behind Ken. But he's been in 4 Columbo episodes.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. So he was photographer in The Most Crucial Game, bartender, friend indeed. And this season he was the cook in A Case of Immunity. That's right. He was the cook by the pastries, putting the pastries out.
Oh my gosh.
Or he was by the pastries. Yeah.
I did not notice him.
He's got a great look.
You said the bartender in A Friend Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
I should have recognized him from that. That is my bad.
And the guy was talking to him, remember? The culprit.
Yeah, the culprit's like, she's getting ready for bed. And he's like, yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of like, okay.
Whatever you say. Just give me that tip.
Yeah.
It can't hurt to have another. Can't hurt to have another.
Yeah.
Oh, good job you looked at that, Paul. I slacked on my duties here. Anyhow, so Arthur holds, I love this little moment. Arthur holds up a hot dog for Columbo. I got a screenshot. And he asks Columbo, is this charred enough for you? It's like it's pretty charred. It's a bit black.
Mm-hmm.
And Columbo, he approves. He's like, yeah, that's my dog right there. I like the charred dogs. And Columbo tells Art that dog is swimming. And Art's like, oh, where's he swimming? I might want to join him. And Columbo makes a joke. Art, it's just a normal sized pool. It's not a lake. Columbo sass. That's some serious Columbo sass. But Art's a good sport, and they both smile and laugh about it. And then we see that behind, as Columbo takes his charred hot dog away, we see that there are 2 men in the line who we've seen in that plumbing van. That's been following Columbo around. It says like plumbing, like radio. What did you say, Paul? Like radio transmitter or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
They're in
But
line.
it said plumbing on it too, though. I think it had two different things on it.
I think the radio text was like, we're high tech. Like we have a radio in the van for your plumbing emergency.
Oh, gotcha.
So the CIA is there. Also, these guys are getting something. Columbo goes to sit down at a table, and the agents sit very close to him. And Columbo's chatting with these kids. Again, this is like a little bit dated, but he's telling this little girl, like, "You're pretty. Did you know that you're pretty?" And then he's like, "Your sister's pretty too." And he starts chatting with the little kids and their mom. And then we see all of these CIA agents. They're all like in plain clothes, but they're all like clearly a group together, and they're all emerging or parking and getting out at Travel Town.
They pull up in a fast way that I just don't think they would do. Like, it's like, here come the big guns.
Right. It's not very discreet at all.
No, they would never do that. I don't think this is the only section where I think like it's like I like that they meet there and he gets to meet the big Kahuna. Maybe they would if it was the big Kahuna coming. I don't know. It just felt a little sensationalized, Hollywoodish.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it doesn't seem like if you want to keep your agents undercover, like you wouldn't put them all in one place together and have them all show up
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in these fast moving cars and all these single men getting out of the car at once. It would raise suspicions for sure.
Yeah, and I guess that's Driskill. He's an interesting writer. He did this movie called Seven with one of the Columbo actors, the big beefy guy who I met his son. I met his son in Vegas. Like his son was drove me. That movie Seven is like it's just an action film with these agents and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it's over the top. It's like James Bond times 3. It's just real over the top. I mean, James Bond is over the top too, but it's a little it stands out, like not in a good way. Like for Columbo in a way. This scene.
Yeah.
But I guess does make it kind of interesting too that how Columbo is sort of like, holy crap,
Mm-hmm.
what am I involved in? And I guess one of the ways to show that is just to create something like this. I don't know how else I guess there's all kinds of ways you could do it, but maybe they wanted to just do it visually in a way,
Mm-hmm.
sort of gargantuan, Does that make sense?
I mean, the helicopter on the lawn would also be a very persuasive way of being like, oh, wow, this is a big deal, which is what we saw at Brenner's. Like, if they could have approached Columbo somehow in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is like, it's like one guy, he's a cop, he's unarmed, he's eating a hot dog. Like, you don't
he's
really
a lieutenant,
you don't really need to greet him with 20 CIA agents. But maybe that was all for the director's safety, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they couldn't like get Columbo any other way without alerting his family, or who knows. I just, yeah, it was definitely different. Maybe they had like an extra big budget with this episode, and they were like, let's just go all out. Like, how many agents can we hire for this day?
And the filming outside, there's a lot of filming outside, like real locations, which is more expensive.
For sure.
Maybe it was because MaGoohan was involved.
I mean, that's one of my favorite parts about this episode is all of the filming locations. There's a lot of interesting locations. Mm-hmm. It's not just all in the studio.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So like we've mentioned, there's a ton of CIA agents, and Columbo gets tapped on the leg or whatever by the ones at his table, and they show him their badges. They're like, it says CIA, and they are telling him, let's go, follow us. And they lead him to meet the CIA director, who's on one of the Travel Town trains. And the director fills Columbo in on everything, says Brenner is one of our agents and Henderson was one of our agents. Yeah, and I guess I can't remember, does he tell Columbo like stop looking at Brenner? I don't know that he tells Columbo that exactly.
I don't think so. I think he's just telling him like this is what's happening. This is all.
Yeah, he's just telling Columbo this is all that's, this is what you've stumbled onto. Columbo is so earnest when he meets the director, It feels so genuine that he's like, wow, I won't breathe a word, I swear, whatever it is. But he does lose his hot dog. I felt really bad for him in this moment. I don't know if you saw this, but when Columbo gets on to the train with the director, he gets
Oh, to
searched.
take it. Yeah. Yeah.
His hot dog
I
gets
remember that.
taken away. I felt so bad for him. You know how
Hmm.
he loves his chili and his hot dogs.
Yeah.
Oh,
He needs those things just like a cigar,
yeah,
right?
exactly. But he's very earnest, and he comes across as very genuine, like, oh, whatever you need, whatever I can do. Clearly, this is not going to deter Columbo from pursuing Brenner, like, because he's on to him by now. He's suspicious.
He does tell him to forget about Steinmetz. Don't worry about Steinmetz.
All right, so now Columbo's going to get some gas, and I love this scene. I have no idea where it was filmed. It was a gas station with brick pillars somewhere in Los Angeles.
It reminds me of a gas station in San Marino is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, they still serve. They still come out and give you gas, but I don't think it is because it looks too different.
Well, Columbo pulls up and he asks for two, and the clerk is like, two of what? He says $2. And then Columbo's like rooting around in his pockets and he's like, make it three, make it 325, make it
Hmm.
350. It's such a good moment. And then he accidentally drops some of his coins onto the ground. And so now he's on his hands and knees at the gas station, on that like pretty gross.
Hasn't that's happened to you? Hasn't it, Liz?
No.
When you're getting your
Oh
gas?
God. Mm-mm. I mean, I definitely when I had with my first car, my Volkswagen Bug, I'm sure I had to like count out my cash to see like how much gas can I get. 5 cents wouldn't really make a big difference. It would be like how many bills do I have? That's how much gas I can get. I don't know if you noticed, but in this scene, his pants are already quite dirty.
Mm-mm. I didn't notice. I like how McGoohan puts his hand out, like over here, over here.
Yeah, so the clerk, so McGoohan Brenner pulls up at the other pump, and then McGoohan Brenner's clerk, pump attendant, walks around to Columbo and says, "Hey, he thinks you might need this," and gives him $10. And then Columbo goes back to Brenner's car, and I love Columbo leans way in.
Mm-hmm.
He's like all the way in. Really cool shot. He's like a foot from Brenner's face, maybe. And he's like, I just met with the director. He's whispering and he's kind of excited about it all. I love this scene. This is another one of those moments where, like I was saying earlier, where Columbo feels like extra playful in this episode and silly and joyful. And this banter with Arthur getting his hot dog, a lot of moments. But then this moment when he's at the gas station, he's like crawling around on the ground. He just he just goes for it. He's just like, I don't know. He doesn't hold back, because that ground is probably kind of gross and like there's gas and oil, and he's just like very believable in this moment. I just loved it.
Mm-hmm. And then the gas station guy's like, "Sir, we've got a lot of customers," and he comes in the shot, like outside the window. Also,
Yes, such a
it's a
good
really
shot.
nicely done.
Yes, such a good shot. I got a shot of Columbo leaning in, but I did not get one with the attendant also leaning in because
Okay,
I'm up to
gonna have to
58
get that.
screenshots, but it is a really good moment. Okay, so Brenner takes off before Columbo can return the $10 that he tried to give Columbo for gas. So now Columbo goes to Brenner's home to return the $10. And this is such a fun scene. Yeah, Brenner is showing off all of his wealth and power. He's got two like butlers or, I don't know what you would call them, but
Servants.
two servants, just like, how much money is this guy embezzling? Or like,
Mm-hmm.
CIA agents do not live like this, right, Paul?
No. Yeah. I mean, I don't think so. I doubt it. Depends on which person. But yeah, no, that's they're just showing this guy. I was gonna look up, like, was there a person within the agency who did, like, grab a bunch of wealth at some point, and maybe there was, with like drug running or something like that. But that's just complete speculation in my head just now. Like, I have no idea.
It seems like a CIA agent with this kind of wealth would raise all kinds of red flags.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And he's just like flashing it about. He's like overly confident that no one will ever question him.
When you think about people who within our government who have set up,
Here we go. Let's go, Paul.
well, no, just like, I'm just thinking of like people who own companies, who have stock in major companies that have sold to other countries, like either weapons, selling weapons to the Greek and the Turkish at the same time, and they're fighting each other, or to Israel. I think there are some politicians within Congress who have had, just like what we're seeing now, who just want to make money. So maybe this kind of has that in mind in a way. Someone who's abusing their power. If he's supposed to have a different life, his life is with like helping other companies make money, right? That's like the front job that he has, but he has to know how to do that anyway. So with like Vito Scotti is going to pay him money to write his speech. He's obviously got all kinds of skills. So why not utilize all your skills and see how much money you can make? So maybe this money is all just from the stock stuff that he does, or with these other companies that sell like soybeans or whatever with China, like Vito Scotti says in the speech. Something like that. I don't study that stuff too closely, but I've read enough where I know that there's a reality to some mistakes that some people make or abusing their power, and then people who are getting rich off of selling weapons. Not that he's doing this, not that McGoohan's character is doing this, but does that make sense to you?
But he must be. He must be selling information, selling access, taking bribes. I mean,
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, he's like, there's no way he's affording this two manservants on a government salary. Like, that's just government and even marketing, unless he was, I mean, I guess maybe with the marketing, he was like the big CEO of some giant corporation.
I mean, one of the things, Watergate sunk Nixon, but before that, there's a book called The Horror Book that Kissinger talked about, and it was like the mistakes that the CIA had done, and that would be like trying to assassinate other leaders. You're not supposed to do that, but Chile was taken over, and people were incarcerated. They were given help from the CIA to do that, to set up this bad regime. It's changed now, thankfully. It recently changed not too long ago, where they destroyed the Constitution, and the families that were in power for so long are not in power anymore, that I know of. But at that time, in the 70s, when Chile was taken over and Allende and Pinochet came into power, that was orchestrated with the help of the CIA, and part of it was to set up telephone companies. So that's just to make money.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So you're gonna hurt all these people to do this thing, and that was Milton Friedman from the University of Chicago had a hand in some of that. I don't know what all he was aware of. He said it was a good thing, the takeover.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So that's like, I'm not saying that's what McGoohan's character is doing, but there could be, it's sort of similar in a way. You'd have to look at each person that was involved with the Chile thing that way back then to show some similarities, but There's so much stuff written on all these things.
You read it all, I hope. Before we
What I
recorded.
read, actually, I did read. There's one called "Legacy of Ashes: The History of the CIA," and it's kind of dark. It's like sort of. I didn't read much of it, but that goes into the horror book that Kissinger mentioned. We don't want the American public to know about this. But this one is a newer one, Life Undercover: Coming of Age in the CIA by Amaryllis Fox. I don't know what a lot of people. I haven't read reviews or anything. I really enjoyed this book. I mean, I thought she was in it for the right reasons. Just her point of view on life. She shares about her parents. She shares about her friends. And she's like, the truth will set you free. But now she helps out prisoners, people who were incarcerated for violent crimes or violence, perhaps, and also overseas Sikhs and like one of their opposing people that they fight in war. Like she tries to help them not be like their parents, or at least she helps facilitate a space where they can talk to each other.
Oh, that's cool.
And grieve and talk about peace. It's very different than, we can only use weapons. In her mind, I think now she sees it a different way than she used to. She had a friend who was beheaded by Al Qaeda, I believe.
Wow.
I mean, all that stuff is, how do we stop that? Using a drone and killing a few people, but then you kill a bunch of family members who had nothing to do with it. You've only created 10 more Al Qaeda operatives. I'm not saying that's exactly it, but yeah, that is a really good book. She goes into all kinds of stuff, but she's a good writer.
What's the name, Paul?
There's so many different. It's called Life Undercover: Coming of Age in the CIA. Amaryllis Fox, or however you pronounce her name. But yeah, it was. I really liked here. It's not too long. I read the whole thing, but I really liked her talking about her mom. And she talks about when she was a kid, what she liked to do. She had these different points in her life where she met different people. And even now, I want to look her up and see what she's doing now. I think she gives talks and stuff. But it's very moving. Like, it's very moving to me. It's different when you get involved with like, let's say you're a soldier, and then you have a different opinion about war, or a new opinion, or you have experience. I think people who go into that, they can really talk about it. You know what I mean? It's easy for me to be critical, but because I'm in this comfort zone, not dealing with all that stuff. So I don't really know, other than what our dad helped out with, and then what Grandpa went through, as a bombardier, and other stuff, that we don't know about. But it's easy to judge what a soldier is about. In that book, she marries another agent, and he's very much a soldier. Their points of view start to change, like his point of view versus her point of view, in terms of what the most important thing is to do to stop someone from getting a nuke and wanting to kill a bunch of innocent people.
Wow,
yeah, there's the oh yeah. It's like there's so much stuff out there you can find out about that shows you all these different points of view. I really enjoyed reading it. Yeah,
I will add that to I've got a little list here of films and books we've talked about, so they will be in the show notes if anyone wants to read the book or watch the film. Has been mentioned on the show. Yeah, that's cool, Paul.
Identity Crisis. That's a great title.
Yeah, for sure.
Just thinking of like her book, I think she dealt with that. Who am I? What am I doing?
I'm sure all these people must.
And this scene, so what do you think about this scene?
Living room.
Mm-hmm.
Living room. Oh yeah, I love this scene. On the superficial level, I love the 2 trays of food that are brought to Columbo. They're like very colorful. You can't quite get a handle on what is on that tray exactly. But
that's Burton Miller, by the way. He did the food.
Oh, he did the food too?
Just kidding.
Oh, Paul, I'm so gullible.
Burton Miller.
But on a more important level, I really love the conversation between the two of them. I think they have a lovely back and forth. Columbo is slow and curious and seems to be getting a feel for him.
Yeah, he says, "Do you like music? Like would like, does Columbo really like music?" like it was like, I love that question. And he's like, oh, my wife does. Yeah, this is a great scene. This is like probably one of the more well written, well performed to me scenes between Columbo and his nemesis.
Totally.
It's very and McGoohan's reactions to Columbo's truthful integrity is great because it's almost like he feels not defeated, but like, oh yeah, that's a good point. Like in a McGoohan, like he's quiet, like he doesn't like he's not snarling the whole time.
Right. He's not like overly like arrogant or bossy. He's kind of like absorbing it.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like Columbo sort of turns the table on him, just like, who are you? Who you are,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great. Really great scene.
It's such a good scene. Just the back and the forth. It's not rushed. You get to see McGoohan's, expressions change just very, very slightly.
Mm-hmm.
And then Columbo, you're like, what kind of genius is Columbo working here? He's just acting very like casual and calm and curious, but you know that he's really getting a feel for Brenner. He's really absorbing a lot in this scene, even though he seems very just harmless, like he often does. Also, I have to point out, back to food, because you know me.
Yeah.
He, at one point, and I got a screenshot, he has like something that looks like a little leg in his hand. It looks, I'm like, is this a frog leg? Is he being served frog legs? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask our listeners if you know what is in his hand. It could be a frog leg. It could be like a overcooked octopus tentacle that's like hard, like a deep fried. I don't know. And then I got one good close up of one tray of food. I think there's either cherry tomatoes or maraschino cherries.
You don't have an answer, Liz? Come on.
I don't know.
Shame on you.
But also, I love the colors in the living room. So there's this giant painting called The Discovery of America, according to the script.
Mm-hmm.
I have a screenshot, but the color scheme of the painting and the sofa and the cushions, and then Columbo in his suit, it's just really, really pretty.
That might be John. Well, the set decorator was Jerry Adams, and the art director was John W. Corso.
It's a really pretty moment. And then just the dialogue is so good between them. I loved it. It was so fun. I was not annoyed, with this villain. I felt like...
And there was music in this one.
Yes, Madame Butterfly.
Compared to the Dawn's
Early Light.
Yeah.
Just like silent.
That had the... And that was Revelry, and then the other one was... you said that they probably would only play at funerals or... Oh
gosh, I'm not going to remember.
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, this one, the music was interesting. I liked it. It's Bernardo Segal. There was one moment where it's early on where it kind of took me aback. Like it has all this orchestra sounding. It just didn't, that moment just didn't kind of work for me for some reason.
Oh, in this episode?
But overall, I liked it. Oh, it's when he goes to Melville's house, when he pulls up to Melville's house, when he's working on the car. Yeah. That music there, for some reason, just kind of like it was almost like we're watching a movie now. Even though this is like a movie, but it seemed different for Columbo. Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I might have a different opinion when I watch it again.
No, it's a good point about the music, because that was one thing with Patrick MaGoohan's other one by Dawn's Early Light, which was like there was no music. It was like, and this one there's much more color and music and background people. Very different. I wonder if MaGoohan got bad feedback. People were like, can you please make it more interesting? Because
But did he direct By Dawn's Early Night?
Well,
I
I
don't
don't
think he did.
remember. I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
don't
And
think he
also, that was
directed them.
set at a military academy. It wasn't set in like the city of Los Angeles with the amusement parks and hotels and,
Yeah.
that person's hands were somewhat tied in terms of the vibe.
Yeah, no, Identity Crisis was the first one he did, and then he did Last Salute to the Commodore.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so a couple more things that happen just to mention in this moment. Columbo asks him about the games that he likes to play. There's backgammon, poker, and then mahjong, which I have to say, Paul, I got to play that with Mom when
Oh,
last time we visited. Such a fun
how'd you,
game.
you did was that the first time you played it?
Yeah, she taught me how. She taught me
Oh,
and the girls how to play, and then we taught Elliot. It was super fun.
who did the best?
We all won at least once. Yeah. It was really, really fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Did you say Geronimo when you won?
No, you say mahjong when you win.
Oh, okay.
Next time I'm going to say Geronimo.
Yeah, you got to go high. He goes high when he does that.
Yes. I know. It's so good. Okay, so the other two things that happen here is that Columbo discovers or notices the photo of Brenner. He notices a photo of Brenner on the wall where Brenner has less hair than he has today. And the other piece is that Columbo gives Brenner a sketch of Steinmetz. But when Columbo notices that photo of Brenner, you can see the gears are turning in his mind. You can see he's like, he's putting things together. And it's hard to tell. MaGoohan keeps a pretty straight face, but it kind of looks like Brenner also realizes that Columbo realizes that
Mm-hmm.
he wears a hairpiece and there's something off about his appearance. I don't know if he ties it to Steinmetz or not, but
Mm-hmm. Watching that documentary and then reading Fox's book, you train how to look different. So it's quite common for them, unless you're just an analyst, I suppose, who stays indoors and doesn't go out in the field. But you learn how to do all that. But still, it kind of points to him, obviously.
Brenner is the one in the crosshairs. So, and then, okay, so after this living room hangout, we're now going to cut to DeFonte's office. So DeFonte, played by Vito Scotti, is the Italian businessman that read the speech in the earlier scene. Columbo is there in his office to get a copy of the speech, and the two of them are speaking in Italian. So they're like instant friends. They're talking in Italian, very friendly to each other. Columbo gets a copy of the speech, and he also walks out with a couple of handfuls of grapes, too,
Mm-hmm.
which I love.
Do you know what they were saying?
No, no. Do you?
Mm-mm. No. Next time.
No. Next time. Next time we do a podcast review of this. No, I wondered also when Brenner is speaking to his servants if that was a
Mm-hmm.
real language, but I was like, I don't know how I would even begin to figure out if that's a real language or not. So I didn't even try. With these two, it sounded like they were actually speaking Italian.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but it sounded like it. One thing that Columbo learns is like that Vito Scotti wasn't expecting to get the speech any earlier than he did, that he was okay getting the speech just basically right before he was going to give it. That was like not a big deal. And now we're going to move into the final scene, Paul.
Yeah, baby.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Ready to rock and roll.
All right, we're back in Brenner's office. Green, golden brown office. And Columbo is in Brenner's office before Brenner. So Brenner's like arriving at the main entrance, and Columbo's already at his desk, sitting in his chair, listening to his tape recording of the speech. Brenner does not like this. Columbo's coming at this like in a more assertive kind of position. He says, "You've told a lot of lies, sir." He's not, that like playful, deferential side of Columbo is like, it seems to be gone. Columbo's ready to come in for the kill, basically. Columbo shares the photo of him at the Silver Star. He's like, you had less hair 15 years ago than you did today. And Brenner admits that he wears a hairpiece. Columbo shows him an edited version of his old photo that makes him look very much like the Steinmetz sketch. Brenner just kind of laughs it off. Columbo says, I heard you closing the blinds on your tape recording, and why on earth would you close the blinds at 11 o'clock at night? Brenner tries to play it off. But then the main piece of evidence against him is that Brenner, in his speech, shares that the Chinese have pulled out of the Olympics. And Columbo determines that information was not public until 6:20 a.m. the morning after the murder, the morning of the DeFonte speech. So there's no way Brenner could have put that detail in his speech the night before. So Columbo has got him. And then Brenner kind of immediately confesses. He's like, what made you stay on this case? Was it the coat? Columbo says yes. As soon as Columbo saw the coat off the body, he suspected that Henderson was a secret agent, which is kind of a crazy assumption to make. But
is that what he says? Yeah, that is kind of weird.
And then my last comment about this is that it's kind of hard to know if any of this would hold up in court. Like if any of Columbo's evidence would really be enough to bring this guy down. But we never know with these shows. Sometimes it's kind of flimsy, but he's just doing what he can do.
But I mean, you couldn't, the Chinese going, getting out of the Olympics is like, he wouldn't have had that information at that time that he said he had.
Yeah, but could you get convicted of murder because you...
Oh, right, yeah.
Like...
No, probably not, yeah.
You would really need more than that.
Yeah. I was thinking they should have had the sun show the sun hitting his face or something.
Oh, right.
Done something because I always felt like that just... It made sense, but it's like it was missing. It was missing that shot. Like I felt like it would have solidified that thing. That's when you have I guess MaGoohan didn't think in those terms, perhaps, even though he's done so much television, and also just because this is a studio, right? Probably just the white, the lights behind the window. You know what I mean? It's not like sunlight so it's harder to create that sunlight like reflecting on him. Looks like lights above them, and even shows now it's like you see that and it's just like that's not the sun, it's just some bright lights next to you.
Yeah, that would have been a good detail to add for sure.
There would be some directors who are very specific and they're like, no, I specifically got a shot close up of this because they've been doing it so long. They have it all mapped out what it needs to translate visually from the page. So they try and get in those shots if there's time. And then occasionally they'll do pickup shots where someone higher up will be like, okay, we'll there's going to be a day of pickup shots for all the episodes, and they'll run around like, what else do you need for this episode? Did you need anything else? And then Patrick MaGoohan.
All right. Patrick MaGoohan, Peter Falk. All right, Paul, we need to give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. How did you feel about this one?
I wasn't enjoying it as much the second time I watched it last night. I would give it like 8.2, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I really like it. It's really, really strong. Yeah, just some of the stuff we talked about. Yeah, I love his MaGoohan's combative, like going to task with Columbo at different moments. Poker Face kind of has that, the Poker Face show. I think in not all the episodes, but Ryan Johnson, or I forget the director's, the creator's
Ryan Johnson.
name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he obviously really thought about a lot. He and the writers, or if it's just him writing, I'm not sure. They think of, there's some episodes where I was like, oh, they really thought about everything. They thought about all these different things.
You're on season 1. You're talking about both
Hmm.
seasons. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm I still am watching season 1. I'm getting close to finishing it though. But yeah, I feel like McGoohan with his approach to Columbo, like he understands it. He understands like what would make this realistic and interesting. Culp was that way, but Culp was always kind of the same.
Yes.
But he went. Culp knew how to like go back and forth with him in such a great way. And then the Cassidy guy, I can't wait to watch the magician one, right?
Oh,
Magician or
now you
something
see
like that.
him.
Yeah, yeah. I loved also like the mystery of like who is this guy that's dead?
Yeah.
Them trying to
Yeah.
figure that out, and then all the shots outside. So, what are you going to give it?
Yeah, I think I would give this one like an 8,
Mm.
maybe a little higher. Because I loved the filming locations. I loved the range of shots and the colors and the background characters. I loved how I felt like Columbo was very playful and he comes across as more lighthearted in a lot of these scenes, kind of catch you off guard with his energy. You're like, who is this a detective? Or I loved his performance. I loved the back and forth between him and Patrick MaGoohan. I didn't love the plot as much of this one, which is why it's like not one of my all-time favorites because it's a little bit complicated, like the whole Steinmetz, like who is this person and
Hmm.
Melville. Like although I really enjoyed those moments, I tend to prefer a simpler a simpler plot.
Yeah,
But I certainly enjoyed it and watching it again more slowly and carefully. I loved so much of the scenery and yeah, the moments between the two of them was really fun.
yeah. There's no real turns necessarily. Maybe the stuff with Steinmetz is like the next part of like sort of like where are we going. But there isn't a gotcha, like a big gotcha or surprise. There's no real surprises in this except for Steinmetz appearing. Then you see like, oh, this is McGoohan.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so that's our rating. And then, do you have any trivia questions for me, Paul?
Yes.
What do you got over there?
So William Driskill, I was telling you, he wrote that script to Seven about
Yes.
the secret agents.
Mm-hmm.
Well, William Driskill, he also wrote part of Drugstore Cowboy, the Gus Van Sant film.
Oh, sure. I'll say true.
What?
I don't
Okay,
know.
okay,
It
yeah,
sounds
no, and I could be wrong, but I'm not 100% sure on this. In Seven, in the
Oh,
movies,
okay. All right.
yeah, you're
Let's
like,
go
okay,
ahead.
Paul. In Seven, there's a scene, and it's directed by this guy Andy Sedaris, and it's kind of funny. It's fun. I think Andy made it as serious as it could be, but a lot of people have found his films kind of campy in a way. Maybe campy's not the right word, but it's really enjoyable. But the lead guy is William Smith. You would recognize him. But there's a scene in it that's just like out of Drugstore Cowboy where someone throws a hat on the bed and they're like, "Don't put the hat on the bed. That's a bad sign." Maybe that's common. I don't know to do that, but it seemed like I was like, I wondered if Gus Van Sant had seen this film.
Oh,
But maybe it's in the book that Gus Van Sant based Drugstore Cowboy off of. Okay, so that one we could just say you got.
you're
Uh,
saying I lost that point. Is that what you're saying?
no, you got it. You got it. You got it.
But you don't know for sure.
Yeah, because
You're just having pity on me.
that's the thing.
I'll take it. I'll take your pity.
Okay, in the CIA, remember the Zoltar machine and Big?
Yes, totally.
So in the CIA, in the bowels, where people can take a break in this one area, there's nothing else in the area except for a Zoltar machine. Like the only thing in this big room.
Could it be that there's a Zoltar machine and a couple other machines? I don't doubt they might have a Zoltar machine in the CIA. Just why not?
Okay, I don't know if they have the Zoltar machines yet. However, they do have a hot dog machine that random, all of a sudden you see hot dogs. And if you want a hot dog in this one room, you can go in there and get it. So you didn't get that one, Liz. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Tell me more about this hot dog machine. Well, do you mean like a 7-Eleven rollers?
Yeah. So she mentioned it in the book.
Okay, and no one's manning it. They're just like free rolling.
Yeah, and then she never saw anybody put stuff on there, but they just appear. So if you want a hot dog and it's 4 a.m. and you've been working for 2 days or whatever, you just go down there.
There's probably one on the roller. I love it.
Okay. All
right, what else?
So you get that one. Okay. Yeah. This is the last one. See if you can get it.
All right.
As a CIA operative in hostile environments, standard operating procedure dictates that you wear your seatbelt when driving or being driven.
Is this a trick question?
I don't know. Is it true or is it false?
Sorry. Can you say the first part of your statement again?
No, just kidding. Yeah. As a CIA operative in hostile environments, standard operating procedure dictates that you wear your seatbelts when driving or being driven.
I'm going to say false.
Why do you say false?
Because if you're in a hostile environment, you want to be able to roll out of the car quickly.
Aha. Okay, here comes the answer.
Oh, no.
It used to be standard operating procedure for CIA operatives not to wear seatbelts. Then,
all right.
Then statisticians, how do you say that? People who do statistics?
Yeah, statisticians.
They pointed out that more operatives were dying in car accidents than terrorist attacks. So they're like, we have to change that.
We're going to go with the original CIA ruling.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Full credit.
All right, you got 2 out of 3. That's not bad.
Yes, I
win.
Those are good. Those were very good. Very tricky. All right, Paul, time for us to sign off.
That's right.
We want to thank Maxime Gervais for our theme song, Columbo. Thank you so much, Maxime.
Thank you, Maxime.
And we also want to thank our podcast editor, John Warena.
Yay.
Thank you, John, so much for editing our show. And if you would like to add to our conversation, you can email us at trenchcoatcigar@gmail.com and find us on Instagram. See all of our photos at Trenchcoat Cigar. And Paul,
you forgot to thank Barney the fly that's been flying around me.
Thank you, Barney the fly. and one more thing, Paul.
Really? What? For good acting?
Thanks for listening.
Yay!
Hey!
Rien à foutre devant l'expertise policière. T'avais un plan sans faille, pensez à chaque détail. L'inspecteur Colombo pensera toujours en dehors.